today I'm going to be helping you guys crack out your Zhongli, put them on a whole new level, and I'm going to fill you in on some really useful information. But if you guys could please do me a favor, if you do enjoy this video, to consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell, and dropping a like, because it helps so much. And I appreciate all the support in the last few videos. It means a ton to me. Let's hop into it. So there's two different ways that you can build Zhongli. You can build them as a DPS, or you can build them as a burst support, aka shielded meatball thrower, which is usually the one I like to gravitate towards because it's just better for most teams. I will show you both routes here. Now, as far as weapons go, if you're going with the DPS route, I would fully recommend that you just go with the Crescent Pike. This is definitely your best weapon that you're going to be able to get as far as free-to-play options go. Now, if you do have a 5-star weapon of any sort, as long as it's pretty good, you don't want like some of those crappy ones on here, and it has some sort of good substat like physical damage or, you know, attack percent, HP percent's a good one on him, something along the lines of that, then a 5-star should fill the role probably better than the Crescent Pike most times, not all the time though. Crescent Pike is definitely a great weapon. Don't underestimate its value here for DPS Zhongli. For burst support Zhongli, there's actually a ton of different options you can go with here. I would recommend just filling whatever gap you have, which for me was crit rate, so I put on the white tassel. Maybe you need some energy recharge, you could go with a Favonius Lance. It's a great weapon. There's plenty of good choices here. Pro-type Star Glitter is a great one as well. So as far as artifact sets go, this new artifact set called the Mill List set, if you haven't heard of it, it's a new one to the game. It's basically his best option. He did have a few different things you could have went with before. If you do need a Noblesse Oblige set on your team, definitely run that. This is almost just as good as that, so I think you'd probably go with this over that one. So pick this setup. It's going to be the best set for you, whether you're DPS or your burst support. It doesn't matter, it's just that good. So what you're looking for on substats is basically HP percent. You're wanting crit rate, crit damage, like always. Almost every character loves that. And then energy recharge is what you're looking for. So those are the top 4 things that you can get on your substats. These are your substats if you didn't know. Some people might not, so I figured I'd point that out. Now for your main stats, we're going to go to the sands. What you want on sands is HP percent. Now where people I feel like go wrong is they try to do HP percent on every single thing. You do not need to do that. I'm telling you, as long as you have one thing with this set on, you're going to be good. So just get an HP percent sands. Mine's terrible. Just roll for those substats if you can, but HP main stat for sure. And for Goblet, now this is different as far as DPS characters go. You're going to want a physical damage cup here. You're not going to want a geo damage one. It's just not going to do as good for you. But if you're running burst support, this is what you're looking for. You want a geo damage bonus cup. It's going to be your best bet. And for me, on this last one, go with whatever you need. I put crit rate. You might need a lot of crit damage, so go with that. It kind of just depends on what you're running. For me, I need a crit rate. I might down the road change up to a crit damage helmet because I do have a nice weapon now, but that's completely up to you. Definitely go with one of those two though. I would recommend not getting an HP percent because it's just not worth it, and the crit rate crit damage mix up adds a lot more value to his ults and his E, and it's just a no-brainer for me. Definitely go with crit rate or crit damage here. Can we also get a fat rip for how much defense percent I rolled on this thing? I guarantee you when I hit level 20 this thing's gonna be at 32%. So as far as constellations go, honestly, you don't need any of them. I got C1 on accident. I really did not want it. It was a big waste. I was legitimately just going for 4-star and ended up getting another one of these. So I wouldn't recommend at all going for constellations on him. You do not need it. He's just insane without him. For talents, my burst support players should definitely be going for the E first and then go with the ult. And now if you're a DPS player, like most DPS characters, you're going to want to go with the normal attack over everything else, and then go to the E and then go to ult. That's basically the order I would go with. And you might ask if this character is worth going with a crown on. He can be. It just depends. Now, if you're wanting to make people frozen forever with his ult, then definitely crown his ult. I would not recommend crowning his E or his normal attacks unless you're going with a DPS build Zhongli and you're really all in it for the money. Definitely do it if you think that's what you want to do. I'm not going to tell you how to spin your crowns or whatever, but if you did decide to use one, definitely go with the ult. So as far as levels go, I would recommend for burst supports, just get them up to level 60 at least, 60 out of 70. I would recommend going even higher because it does help him out because of the way his scaling works. So try to get him kind of as high as you really can. You don't need to 90 him. I mean, 80ing him will probably do the trick. But if you're DPS, definitely take him all the way up. If you're running him as a DPS, you need to do that. It's just going to make all the difference. This is the end of the video, guys. I appreciate you sticking with me all the way through. If you have any questions about this, leave it down in the comments below, and if I do happen to find something that I messed up on, I'll definitely correct myself in the comments as well. If you enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a like on it or subscribing, and the notification bell definitely helps out a ton, so I really do appreciate it. I will be catching you guys in the next one. This has been Max. Take her easy, guys. bye.